guys, how are you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while since I've done a Batman update review, but because of the whole virus and everything, the cast and everything had to go back home, and the production went down. For every movie, production went down. So there really hasn't been any new news lately on the Batman, but recently Andy Serkis, who is playing Alfred Pennyworth in this recent Batman movie, had an interview being done, and he said a few things about this Batman movie. See, what Andy Serkis said is that this tone and this version of the Batman and the whole tone of it and characters and everything is going to be very different from what we've seen before in past iterations of it. In his interview, when he was asked about how dark this movie would be and how different it would be than all the other movies, this is basically what Andy Serkis has to say about it. He said, "I will not say that's far from the truth. It's very much about the emotional connection between Alfred and Bruce. That's really at the center of it. It really is an exquisite script that Matt has written." Basically what he said in that script was with the Alfred and Bruce connection. That's what really got my interest in it. Is that how he said that it's very about the emotional connection between Alfred and Bruce. See, what he's saying about the emotional connection with Bruce and Alfred is that it kind of reminds me of the Earth 1 Batman interpretation from the comics of Earth 1. And in that comic, like, Bruce and Alfred kind of have not really the same kind of relationship as they had in other iterations. Alfred was more, I think he was ex-military, and he was more hands-on and more gruff and gritty, and I think in that comic he really didn't want to really be a father figure to Bruce. He never imagined being a father figure to anyone, and basically Bruce and all this stuff just kind of fell onto him at the last moment. He had to just do what he can without knowing what he had to, and you see the struggles with that in there. Like, they're more like, rather than like a father and son relationship in this comic, they're more like a brother, like an older brother taking care of the younger brother when the older brother isn't ready to be like a father figure or anything like that, and he has to take that responsibility on him. That's the kind of relationship they have in that comic. So it reminds me of a lot of what he's saying of that kind of comic in that iteration of Alfred. And he's really tough, and he has like a beard, a goatee thing going on, and his kind of whole body structure too, of Andy Serkis, honestly reminds me a lot of this Alfred, and they kind of look a lot alike, especially with the beard that Andy Serkis has going on right now and his hairstyle. It reminds me a lot about this interpretation of Alfred. And it gets me really excited because then that means we're going to get something different than we've seen. We're going to see a different side of Bruce and Alfred that we have not seen before in the movies. We're going to see a more Alfred and Bruce that are probably more close together and probably working more together, and we're going to probably see an Alfred and Bruce argue with each other and have Alfred kind of looking at Bruce like telling him stop this, because he's watching this kid who he grew up, who he raised, and who he had to raise without even wanting to raise, but he had to take the responsibility and raise him himself. And now he sees that he's going out at the middle of the night dressed up in a costume, beating up criminals, putting his life at risk, when that's the last thing that Alfred wants. And I think we're going to see that kind of emotional struggle and attachment we're going to see between them in this movie. And that excites me a lot. And I like how he's saying that that's going to be like sort of the big plot and part of this movie is the connection between Alfred and Bruce. That's going to be a big center on it. And that excites me a lot too, because again, we never have seen that before. We've gotten a little bit of it in the Dark Knight series of the connection relationship with Alfred and Bruce. I really love the connection relationship between Alfred and Bruce in the Batman vs Superman movies and the Justice League movies. I really like Jeremy Irons and Ben Affleck's relationship. But this seems like a really cool, new, something that not the regular movie fans have seen before, and it really excites me a lot to see this. Andy Serkis goes on, now in this interview, Andy Serkis goes on and talks about the other interpretations of Alfred. He starts out by saying, he, as in Kane, was fantastic. His Alfred was legendary. I couldn't even begin to go there. Really, you find it yourself. Like playing these iconic roles in Shakespeare. You go back, you revisit them, you have to make it your own. See what it is about these characters that connects you to your personal Venn diagram. I was literally halfway through shooting my part when we all got shut down. So it'll be interesting to see when that resurfaces, how it will be affected by the lockdown. But it also is going to be a beautiful film. So that's just a really cool tidbit of him kind of acknowledging all the other Afreds. And I like that his favorite Afred probably is Michael Caine, and that he's acknowledging him. I really like that. It's really cool that he's acknowledging other Afreds. And he's like, I'm not trying to be like them, because what they did were perfect for their movies. I want to come in and do something myself. I want to take my own personal feelings and put it into this role and put my own little spin and taste into it. And I love that. That's perfect. That is honestly perfect. And that's what I honestly pretty sure what Robert Pattinson's going to do for Batman. This is what Ben Affleck did for Batman. This is what Christian Bale did for Batman. This is what Michael Keaton. Every Batman has put their own taste to it, and every Afred has put their own Afred taste to it. Same thing with the Jim Gordons. And that's what I think we're going to get with all these interpretations of characters, and I'm so excited for it. Here's my little Batman update for you guys. There's something with Andy Serkis been saying. Hopefully soon, because I've been hearing that the UK productions where they've been filming the Batman ad is going to be reopening soon. So, fingers crossed that real soon they start going back into production and we start getting more images, hopefully, more news, more set footages. I can't wait. Hopefully soon. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe in the next month or two, maybe even sooner. Who knows? Let's just hope and keep fingers crossed everything works out and we can start seeing some more Batman news and photos soon. I hope it. Thank you guys again for watching. I always appreciate you guys watching, supporting my videos. If you like this, please go to the thumb up section, click the thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you like this video and like my other videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.